Shelby County is a big county. It's 800 plus square miles, kind of divided by a river, the Cahaba River, and somewhat south of the river is what I consider South Shelby County. In Montevallo, for instance, I'm proud to say they're building a $25 million plus performing arts center that'll be real centric on the theatrical arts. That's so cool, and we're so proud of them. Alabaster's high school, Thompson High School, is going to be on the national map as an arts and culturally oriented high school of a premier nature. I mean, inside of that, I don't know, $80+ million high school is a $12 to $13 million performing arts complex. So proud of them for doing that. So I believe a rising tide raises all boats, so we're kind of sandwiched in between Alabaster and Montevallo. And with that being said, we decided to do some things that we had a proof of concept for. Some of the criteria that we considered was to not be in competition by default with other sister arts and cultural organizations. We didn't want to duplicate what they were doing. We wanted to find a way to fit into the tapestry of what would be the arts and cultural landscape in South Shelby County. So in the Shelby County Arts Council, or the new Shelby County Arts Center at Old Mill Square, there'll be a 4-acre park with a 3-tiered fountain, a gathering place for folks to gather around the arts and build community. The Shelby County Arts Council has resided in Columbiana for the better part of 12 years as a 501c3 nonprofit. A lot of people don't know we've done some very aggressive proofs of concept there, like the Black Box Theater. The Black Box Theater has had 100 seats that they sell for about 20 shows a year. We've been doing that for the better part of 4 years. 70+% of those seats have sold out to people from outside the zip code at an average ticket price of $20 to $25. So people will come to Columbiana, people will come to a picturesque small town for entertainment if they can find it. Indirect economic impact from an arts and cultural effort is a real thing. Think about it. In 1985, there was a field somewhat south of Montgomery that's now known as the Shakespeare Festival. I don't know it. Probably moving forward into 2019, that outfit brings more than $20 million into the local economy in indirect impact. We believe that arts and cultural opportunities infused into a community raise the value of that community at conceivably every level, even economic. And there's lots of stats to prove that. We've got our own proof of concept, but we wanted to build a building that made that statement as you even walk up to it. So you walk up to this 4-acre park, and then there's a 3-tiered fountain with places to sit. There's an outdoor amphitheater built into the building that makes a statement, hey, this stage is open to gather at any time, all the time, for the community, for sanctioned events and non-sanctioned events. The Black Box Theater is a 200-seat audiophile experience. If you'd like to be up and close to your favorite singer-songwriter, your favorite storyteller, then the Black Box Theater is a place to see the show. There'll also be in the same complex a fine art gallery, the EBSCO Fine Art Gallery, and you'll see national level exhibits there, as well as regional artists and folk artists that'll be highlighted there throughout the year. Steve Jobs famously said that he went to Silicon Valley for the beehive effect. In other words, instead of creating by himself revolutionary ideas and products, he associated himself with other people that were like-minded, and they shared ideas, perhaps even stole ideas, I don't know. But at the Shelby County Arts Council, at the center of who we are, we want to have a creative community of artists, and we've created cultivated an environment that is good for an artist that wants to teach or an artist that wants to learn of all levels and all skills, whether that's classically oriented education or some sort of folk-oriented education. We'll have music session practice rooms. We'll have a metal arts facility, which I could do a whole show on. Nelson Grice, Ted Metz are part of that. They're nationally acclaimed artists in the area of metal sculpture, bronze cast sculptures. There's not too many places that do that. Forging, you'll be able to watch that, see that with your own eyes. We'll also have a visual art studio. We already have some great painting instructors like Lynn Dodson and Edna Seeley. We'll have plenty of guest artists coming by and doing workshops there. A big part of who we are is pottery, ceramic arts, and we'll have a very expanded facility there for our potters and ceramic artists to create. Attached to that whole venture is a municipal facility. We call them multi-purpose venue, or MPV. That'll be available for rentals, expos, trade shows, music shows of all kinds. We will collaborate with the city on some events, and the city will rent it out on other events. imagine, create, and inspire. You know, it's like rinse, lather, and repeat. You don't do it one time, you know, and you're not one and done. It's a process. It's the way we live. It's the way we think. From the imagination comes creation. From creation comes inspiration. And that applies to all creatives. Whether you're cooking a great meal, painting a fantastic picture, or you're building a building, you do it by that process. You know, the digital world is all in good. I'm glad we can communicate our message on a digital platform. But part of the reason why we exist is to run a parallel rail with the digital world as far as arts and cultural events go. You might ask yourself, you know, why should anybody even leave the house to learn how to play the guitar? You know, why should they come sit down across from a seasoned player to learn how to play the guitar? Why can't they just learn from YouTube, right? Or why should they even leave the house to go to a show when all you really got to do is download it or stream it, right? Why would you want to do that? Well, ask anybody who's been to a live show, and they'll tell you that it's a spiritual thing, that there's a dimension to it that you cannot experience from scrolling with your thumb. There's nothing like being at a show. There's nothing like dragging an actual brush across the canvas after it's been dipped in colors that you selected from your heart to put on the canvas. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like sitting across from a guitar teacher who's played the stages around the area and maybe around the nation in our case, who's played in live situations, who knows how to interact with other band members. There's no substitute for sitting across from a teacher that has worked hours and hours, and you can be the beneficiary of his skill and insight sitting right across from you, a live, breathing human being teaching you piano or guitar or voice. So I believe that whole sense of community and connecting with the arts on a whole nother level that makes us human is what we're all about as the Shelby County Arts Council.